Now we are going to start with a new chapter, that is the heat. You know that heat is actually a form of energy. What is heat? It is a form of energy. And you all know about energy? Are you familiar about energy? Energy is the ability to do work. What is energy? Energy is ability to do work. Right. So we have different kinds of energies around us. As you have seen, we have mechanical energy, we have vibrational energy, we have rotational energy, we have heat energy, we have kinetic energy. We have lot of energies around us. So out of that, the common form of energy, is this one, that is the heat. Heat is the common form of energy. Suppose if I have a hot substance here, right, and I have a cold substance here. Let's say ice, let's say any hot thing, let's say hot iron. Now what happened? Suppose you touch the hot iron with your hand, what happened? You feel hot, you feel warm, because at that time when you touch it, suppose I'll just try to explain you by drawing figures. Suppose I have this is my hand and I touch the hot iron. So when I touch the hot iron with my hand, I feel hot, right? And when I touch the cold ice, I feel cool. Now you know that what is the reason behind that if when I touch the hot iron I feel hot and when I touch the cold substance I feel cool. It is due to because when we touch the hot substance, suppose I am touching like I am using my hand, I am touching this hot iron. So what happened? The heat is flowing from this hot body to my hand. Heat is flowing from the hot body, flow of heat from the hot body to hand. And when I am touching the cold substance, I see that I feel cool, because at that time the heat get transferred from my hand to the cold substance. Heat get transferred, heat flow to ice. So that means when you are touching a hot substance, then heat is transferred from that hot substance to your hand. And when you are touching a cold substance, any cold substance, then heat is transferred from your hand to the cold substance. That is why you are feeling cool. So these are the reasons that the flow of heat occurs. And you know that what is the basic reason behind the flow of heat? That is the difference in the temperature. That is the difference in the temperature of two bodies. Here the two bodies were my hand and the hot iron, and in the other case it was again my hand and the ice. So that means the flow of heat is determined actually by the temperature, you can say difference in the temperature between two bodies. The body which is at high temperature, suppose I have a body which is at high temperature, let's say body 1, this body is at high temperature, right? I have another body, let's say body 2, it is at comparatively, like compared to it, it is at lower temperature. So the direction of flow of heat is actually determined by the temperature difference. It is always going to flow from the body which is at higher temperature to the body which is at lower temperature. So you need to learn this thing, that whenever the heat flows, the one important condition should be there, that there should be difference in the temperature. There should be temperature difference. So when there will be a temperature difference, then only the heat is going to flow. Otherwise the heat is not going to flow. Suppose you have two cold bodies and they are at same temperature, then there will be no heat flow. But if you have one body which is more hotter and the other which is less, so heat is going to flow from the body which is more hot to the body which is less hot. So that means for the flow of the heat, the one thing is important, that is there must exist a temperature difference. Another thing is that heat is going to flow from the body at higher temperature, from body at higher temperature to body at lower temperature. Always this is going to happen. So whenever the heat is going to flow, it is just going to flow when there will be a temperature difference, and it is always going to flow from the hot body to the cold body, or you can say body at a higher temperature to the body at lower temperature. So this is how the flow of heat occurs. And moreover, see, we can produce, you have seen that heat energy is produced almost in every task what you do. Suppose you are driving a bicycle and you suddenly apply brakes. So what happened? The kinetic energy of the tire just get converted into the heat energy, because when you apply brakes there is a heat produced due to friction. So this is the conversion of the mechanical energy into heat energy. Likewise, suppose in winters, what you all do, when you enter your class, your teacher often asks you to just rub your hands, like if you're feeling cold, so they say just rub your hands. So what happened, when you rub your hands, then at that time due to friction, again the rubbing of hands due to friction produce heat energy. So that is, there also you get the heat energy. Likewise, suppose there is no light in the room, you light a candle. So at that time what you get? You get the chemical energy of the candle gets converted into light as well as heat energy. So likewise, almost in every task we get to see heat energy. So heat energy is the common form of the energy, because as I have told you, there are a lot of examples where we will see that the transfer of energy occurs, and as a result the heat energy is produced either initially or after the conversion, but still the heat is a common form of energy. So now this was the basic introduction about this chapter. Now we are just going to get deep into this chapter, so just concentrate here.